In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to change the fonts and colors in your Shopify store. This might seem like a small detail, but believe me, it makes a huge difference in how your brand looks and feels to your visitors. But before we begin, if you haven't signed up for Shopify yet, I've got something that you might want to check out. So click the link in the description below to access Shopify's special $1 per month for 3 months promo. It's a great deal and honestly the perfect way to start building your online business without spending a ton of money up front. So once you're logged into your Shopify dashboard, we'll jump right into the customization. But let's pause for a minute to talk about why this matters. So fonts and colors are part of your visual identity. So they play a huge role in the first impression that your store gives. So choosing the right font and color palette can instantly communicate your niche, your brand's personality, and even build trust. So think about it. If you're running a high-end minimalist clothing store, you're probably not going to use playful comic style fonts and neon colors. Same goes the other way around. So it's not just about making things pretty, it's about being intentional and consistent. Okay, now that we've got that clear, let's go back to the dashboard. So on the left hand side of the screen, click on Online Store, and under that, go to Themes. This will bring you to the theme page, and at the top, you'll see your current live theme. And below that, you have access to your theme library, where you can explore free themes or buy premium ones from the Shopify theme store. So feel free to browse around and see what fits your brand. Now scroll back up and you'll see the theme that I'm currently using. It's called Balance. So I just installed it and we'll use this for this tutorial as an example. So click the Customize button next to the theme name, and this will take us to the Shopify theme editor. And now that we're inside the live editor, where you can visually make changes to how your store looks, so on the left hand side, you'll notice a panel called Sections, which is where you manage your homepage layout and sections like banners, featured products, and so on. But for now, we're focusing on the overall theme setting. So let's click on the theme setting just below that. And inside the theme settings, you'll see different options like logo, colors, typography, layout, animations, and more. So this is the area where you can control global styles, meaning these changes will apply across your entire store, not just the home page. So let's start with typography. So go ahead and click on it. And in here, you'll see two main font controls. So one for headings and one for body text. So these are the fonts used throughout your site, like for product titles, section headers, and your regular paragraph content. So let's first update the heading font. Click on Change next to the current font. So a font selector will pop up, showing you a wide range of system and Google fonts to choose from. The changes you make here will reflect live in the preview, so you'll see exactly how your store will look. So let's try selecting serif first. You'll notice the headings on your page instantly update to the new style. So serif fonts give a more classic, refined look, so it might work well if your store leans towards something like formal wear, vintage goods, or even home decor. So let's test another font. So I'll try Armata. Not quite the look that I want. So let's try, scroll down a bit, and let's try this Biorhyme. So this one's bold, modern, and feels more confident. I like this, which could work well for a fashion forward brand or anything targeting younger audiences. So I personally recommend using bold fonts for headings because they help guide the eye and make important parts of your page stand out. But again, the most important thing here is that it fits your brand's personality. So once you pick the font that you want, click select at the bottom. Now let's do the same for the body font. So click change, browse through the fonts again, and preview a few until you find something clean and readable. So remember, this is the font that people will be reading the most. Your product description, blog posts, menus, so clarity is key here, guys. So when you've made your choice, click select again. You also notice that you can scale the font sizes here. So I usually keep it at default unless you're seeing text that's too small or too big. So scaling can help improve mobile readability too, so adjust if needed. Now that fonts are done, let's move on to colors. So go back to the main theme settings and click on colors. This section controls all the color schemes used across your site. So you'll usually see multiple schemes labeled Scheme 1, Scheme 2, and so on. And each one applies to different parts of your store, depending on your theme setup. I'll start with Scheme 1. So this is often used for your main content areas like product pages, collection pages, or any section on the home page. The first option is background. I like to keep this simple and clean, so I'm choosing white. You can definitely go for something more stylized like light gray or even black if your brand calls for a dark theme. Next is background gradient. You can apply gradient overlays here if you want that extra visual flair, but in this case, I'm going to leave it white again for a minimal clean look. Now for text, we want this to be easy to read, so black is a solid choice. High contrast is always best when it comes to readability, especially on mobile. Next is solid button background. This is what your call to action buttons will look like. So let's go with black to keep it bold and consistent. So for the solid button label, I'll set that to white so it pops up nicely. So if you go down, you'll see options for outline buttons, shadow colors, and so on. You can play with those if you want more fine tuning. But for now, let's move on to Scheme 2. So Scheme 2 is usually applied to headers or footers, like your navigation bar or announcement bar. So let's test some changes here. So let's set the background to white to match the rest of the store. The text originally was purple, which doesn't really match our font tone. If your body font and heading font are black, your navigation should feel aligned. For solid button background, again, I'll keep it black, and for the label, white. You can repeat these same updates for other schemes as well, especially if your theme has more sections using different colors. You might even want to create a scheme just for your sale banners or highlight a seasonal section with a unique palette. So that's totally up to you. Now, if you don't love the colors Shopify gives you by default, or if you have a custom brand palette, you can use tools like Adobe Color, Colors.co, or any color picker extension to pull exact hex codes. Then you can paste them into the color picker inside Shopify to get an exact match. And same goes for fonts. If you have brand fonts that aren't available in Shopify's built-in library, you can explore third-party apps like Fontify or custom fonts by Hoke Apps, which lets you upload your own fonts directly into your store. Once you've made all your font and color updates, don't forget to hit the save button on the top right corner. And after that, you can exit the editor and preview your store live to see how everything looks together. And that's it. That's how you change the fonts and colors in your Shopify store. So hopefully this gave you a clear idea of how to really make your store match your brand's identity and not just rely on whatever the default setup is. If this was helpful, feel free to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more Shopify tutorials. If you want me to go deeper into advanced customizations, like adding your own fonts or using CSS, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.